and good day, my listeners. We're at chapter 5, verse 6 of the Book of Ezra. We're almost halfway done. The copy of the letter that Tatnai, governor on this side of the river, and Shethar-Boznai and his companions, the Apharsachites, which were on this side of the river, sent unto Darius the king. Okay, notes. Now, this Tatnai character was just a governor-general of the vast regions of the westward land of the river Euphrates, and he personally visited Jerusalem rather than listen to the reports of Israel's advisories. In other words, he wanted to inspect things himself. Verse 7, they sent a letter unto him wherein was written thus, Unto Darius the king, all peace. Be it known unto the king that we went into the province of Judea to the house of the great God, which is builded with great stones, and timber is laid in the walls, and this work goes fast on, and prospered in their hands. Then asked we those elders, and said unto them thus, Who commanded you to build this house, and to make up these walls? Verse 10, we asked their names also to certify you, that we might write the names of the men that were the chief of them. And thus they answered us saying, We are the servants of the God of heaven and earth, and build the house that was built these many years ago, which a great king of Israel built and set up. But after that our fathers had provoked the God of heaven unto wrath, and he gave them into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, the Chaldean, who destroyed this house and carried the people away unto Babylon. Verse 13, But in the first year of Cyrus, the king of Babylon, the same King Cyrus made a decree to build this house of God. And the vessels also of gold and silver of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took out of the temple that was in Jerusalem, and brought them into the temple of Babylon, those did Cyrus the king take out of the temple of Babylon, and they were delivered unto one whose name was Sheshbazzar, whom he had made governor. Verse 15, And he said unto him, Take these vessels, go and carry them into the temple that is in Jerusalem, and let the house of God be built in his place. Then came the same Sheshbazzar, and laid the foundation of the house of God which is in Jerusalem, and since that time even until now has it been in building, and yet it is not finished. Verse 17, Now therefore, if it seem good to the king, let there be search made in the king's treasure houses, which is there in Babylon, whether it be so that a decree was made of Cyrus the king to build this house of God at Jerusalem, and let the king send his pleasure to us concerning this matter. Notes, well, it is quite possible that this decree of Cyrus may still exist in the ruins of Babylon, and will hopefully one day be discovered. That would be a mind-blowing discovery at that. Chapter 6. Then Darius the king made a decree, and search was made in the house of the rolls, where the treasures were laid up in Babylon. Notes, well, it seems that the application made to Darius received his immediate attention. Verse 2, And there was found at Achmetha in the palace that is in the province of the Medes a roll, and therein was a record thus written. We're going to read that. Verse 3, In the first year of Cyrus the king, the same Cyrus the king made a decree concerning the house of God at Jerusalem. Let the house be built, the place where they offered sacrifices, and let the foundations thereof be strongly laid. The height thereof 60 cubits, and the breadth 60 thereof 60 cubits. With 3 rows of great stones and a row of timber, and let the expenses be given out of the king's house. Verse 5, And also let the golden and silver vessels of the house of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took forth out of the temple which is at Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, be restored, and brought again unto the temple which is at Jerusalem, every one to his place, and placed them in the house of God. Now therefore, Tatnai, governor beyond the river, Shethar-Bozni, and your companions, the Ephrasakites, which are beyond the river, be ye far from thence. Verse 7, let the work of this house of God alone. Let the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews build this house of God in his place. Notes. Well, as the trumpet had given no uncertain note, the Persian officials, Tatnai and Shethar-Bozni, whatever their wishes may have been, had no choice as to their line of action. The king's word was pretty much the law. They were to leave the Jews alone and let them finish the work on the temple. Boy, what a smart guy there. Verse 8, moreover, I have made a decree that you shall do the elders of these Jews for the building of this house of God, that of the king's good, even of the tribute beyond the river, forthwith expenses be given unto these men, that they be not hindered. Notes. Well, that's kind of mind-blowing right there. Not only was permission given to continue the work, but as well, the workmen on the temple were to be blessed and paid out of the royal revenue, as well as the expenses of the sacrifices. The money came out of the taxes levied by the Persians against Syria. Verse 9, and that which they have need of, both young bullocks and rams and lambs for the burnt offerings of the God of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to their appointments of the priests which are at Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day without fail. Verse 10, that they may offer sacrifices of sweet savours unto the God of heaven, and pray for the life of the king and of his sons. And I have made a decree that whosoever shall alter this word, let timber be pulled down from his house, and being set up, let him be hanged thereon, and let his house be made a dunghill for this. Notes. Do you think the king might be needing to be taken seriously here? If you hinder the work of God as far as this temple is concerned, they're going to take some boards from your own house. They're going to basically build a hangman's noose, and they're going to hang you, and not only that, they're going to destroy your house and use it for, well, we'll not get into that. Well, a place where people use the bathroom. Boy, he means business. Verse 12. And let the God who has caused his name to dwell there destroy all kings and people that shall put to their hand to alter and to destroy this house of God which is at Jerusalem. I, Darius, have made a decree, and let it be done with speed. Notes. This King Darius left absolutely no doubt as to what he was saying as it regards the building of the temple. And as well, he left absolutely no doubt as it regards the punishment that was to be inflicted if this decree was altered in any way, shape, or form. This old boy means business. Verse 13. Here we're going to see the results. Then Tatnai, governor on this side the river, Shethar-Bozni and their companions, according to that which Darius the king had sent, so they did speedily. Notes. Well, the Persian authorities who dealt directly with the Jews showed no reluctance to obey. No surprise. Verse 14. And the elders of the Jews built, and they prospered through the prophesying of Haggai the prophet and Zechariah the son of Iddo, and they built and finished it according to the commandment of the God of Israel, and according to the commandment of King Cyrus and Darius and Artaxerxes king of Persia. And this house was finished on the 3rd day of the month Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of Darius the king. Notes. Well, the prophesying of both Haggai and Zechariah contributed much toward the finishing of this temple. The temple had been approximately 21 years in building. 15 years of this time had been all but wasted. We must pick up in chapter 6, verse 16. Thank you, and God bless.